Hello, 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 everyone. We're live, and you're looking at the chat window. I'm going to get to it in just a sec. But first, I'm going to play a little bit and talk a little bit, and I want you guys to let me know in the chat if it is sounding okay and if you can hear my voice and keys all right. Check 1 2 1 2. I hope everyone's doing well today. Okay, how's everyone doing in the chat? I see Sarah Pickles. What's going on, Sarah? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Sarah. How's everyone else doing? Hey, Warren W. Old rookie in the house. Nice to see you. Oh, Warren. Lily Mae, how you doing? Nice to see you in the mix as always. All right. So Warren W. is saying, FYI, he took a look at the Theorist latest video, How I Learned Rockstar by DaBaby on the piano in 10 minutes. Pretty cool, right, Warren? The Theorist is awesome, and I've been loving seeing more and more of his behind-the-scenes videos and how he is able to arrange and learn stuff. Speaking of arranging, by the way, right? He's done some cool stuff on how he learns songs by ear and things like that. Yeah, definitely good stuff to check out. Yes, yes. Hey, Saul. Good to go. Thank you, my friend. Hey, Penny Burns. Awesome. Well, guys, we're going to have some fun today. First of all, thank you. Just felt like playing a little bit there. But thank you for bearing with me last week as we had to reschedule the live lesson. It's been a busy time here at Playground, in part because we've been working on You Raise Me Up, right? What a beautiful progression, melody. So first of all, I want to know, how's everyone doing on their own journeys through You Raise Me Up? Now, I'll come back to the chat in a little bit on that. But what I want to do today is examine the various levels within You Raise Me Up. And I want to talk about how we got to the arrangements that we got to. So I'm going to pull up my app right now. I believe you guys should be seeing my app. And what we're looking at right here is the rookie level chorus 1. All right? This is the final challenge. Actually, I'll just back up out of my app so I can show you where I am here. So I'm in the rookie tour here for You Raise Me Up, and I'm on segment 10 here. This is the recital performance. So this is the full shebang for the chorus. All right, I'll play through it once. You're not going to see any green notes because I don't have my keyboard hooked up, but I'm just going to let it scroll, all right? And I'll actually just turn the feedback off. All right, so this is the rookie level chorus. I'm going to play through it, and then let's talk about it from an arranger's perspective. Oh, I can't even hear the app either, but I'm just going to wing it here. I've done it enough times after teaching it. Okay, so this is the rookie level chorus. All right, so for you rookies out there, I hope that all of you found your way to this recital submission segment okay, and I hope that you've found some success already with these sections. If not, we've still got some time, no worries. But if you have questions or if you're struggling about something in this, let me know here in the chat as well. But let's go over this. So first of all, we've got single note melody in the right hand. We see a couple of red numbers up there, and that is for, of course, changing hand positions. Now, at the rookie level, we try to avoid that, but sometimes we're going to have to. Why? Because, well, we want to keep the melody intact. Sometimes it's impossible. It's too difficult for rookies, so you have to make a change. But that should be the last-ditch effort there. That should be your last resort, I should say. When you can, you want to keep melodies intact. Now, rhythmically speaking, that's where you can simplify a bit. So let's talk about that. We've already seen some simplifications here, and I'll get into intermediate and advanced in just a little bit. But what we see in those is something more like this. I'm kind of making that up there, but I want you to focus on the right-hand melody there. Rhythmically speaking, it's a little bit more syncopated. Or, you raise me up, whatever the phrase happens to be. At the rookie level, we want to simplify those rhythms. So what we see here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2. Okay, so that's what we're working with there. When it comes to retaining the essence of the part, just to summarize here, when it comes to retaining the essence of the part, we want to, when we can, we want to keep the melody notes intact. But if we have to simplify some rhythms, we totally can. However, sometimes there might be some rhythm in the song itself that is a bit iconic to the song, you could say. You might see, I'm just making this up, but you might have a song that has 2 eighth notes in the middle of it that you could argue are very important to the song. In those cases, you want to keep those rhythms, but otherwise, you can take a little bit more liberties simplifying rhythms. Now, let's talk about the left-hand part that we see here. As I mentioned in previous lessons on arranging, for rookie level, we like to boil the left-hand harmony down to the essence of just that single note. And often that becomes the root of the harmony, but not always. So let's play through this. Left hand plays single note D, that's for D minor, right? So here's the chord. Next chord we have is B flat major. Then we go to F. However, look at what we have in the left hand here for the rookies. We have just D for the D minor chord. That's the root. And then we have the root in the next chord as well, the B flat major chord. But what I like here is that we have not the root in the next chord. The next chord is an F major harmony, but we have an A in the left hand. So this is sort of an inverted harmony here. F over A type of a sound. And we have an A in the root. We don't, in the lowest voice. We don't always have to have the root in the left hand. So here we have the third of the chord in the left hand. And then the next chord is a C major harmony. Sure enough, we have a C in our left hand part. So there's the root again. Second time through, though, left hand, we're going right to C. Okay, so that's the idea there. That's the basic gist of what we had for the chorus for the rookie level. Now what I want to do is jump out of here and take a look at the intermediate level stuff, all right? So let's see if I could find that. You guys are looking at all of my other courses that I've got. Okay. So there's the intro. What I want to do is take a look at the chorus for the intermediates. We might not actually be all the way there yet. Look at this. Recital performance for all of those. Here we go. I think this is the one for the chorus. Chorus 1. Cool. So you guys, this is the same section that the rookies have been working on. Chorus 1. I'm going to shrink this just a bit so we can all see. All right, so this is chorus 1 for intermediate, all right? Same key, same section. In fact, when we do our full recital video where we have everyone playing their parts at the same time, here, rookies and intermediates will be playing at the same time. So this is a perfect example here. Let me shrink this down just a little more. Okay, I hope everyone can see that okay. So check it out. The rhythm in the right hand, melody, is actually, I believe, exactly the same as rookie. Yeah, the right hand part is the same here so far. But obviously what's different is the left hand, all right? So the left hand is, first of all, playing chords, and it's also playing more rhythms than the rookie. The rookie, we're playing whole note roots, or I should say whole notes, whatever the note was, not always root. But here what we see are half notes. So we're playing half note chords. We're playing more than one note at a time in our chords, of course. So let's go over these. What we have first, and in fact, I'll go ahead and highlight this if I can. Oh, it's not letting me. I think it's because this is a performance mode here. That's all right. So our first chord is D minor over F. We play it twice. Then we go to B flat over F. Play that twice. Then we go to F. Then we have C over E. All right, and let's just stop there. Let's take a look at those 4 chords. So compare that to the rookie level where we had D, B flat, A, and C. Now, at the intermediate level, we're treating the left hand as such. Okay, now we have chords in inversion. And they're all block chords, another thing that we try and do in intermediate level arrangements. Now, sometimes you'll see broken chords and other things in the left hand. But if you're looking for kind of a general rubric or a rule of thumb here for intermediate level piano arrangements, it's at least a nice starting point to get triads in block chords and then using inversions to make sure that you don't have to jump around too much. All right, I know you can't see my hand right now, but from D minor over F to B flat over F, all we're doing is changing our middle note of our chord just by 1/2 step. I mean, it literally could, I don't think it could be any closer. D minor over F to B flat over F is just 1/2 step apart with one of its notes. The other 2 notes stay the same, right? So that's the use of inversions. That's the benefit of using inversions, is that we don't have to move our hand position very much at all. And we're going to find that often in intermediate level arrangements. All right, I'm going to hit play now, guys, so you can see the notation scroll, and so you can watch me play through this whole section. And then I'm going to get back to the chat and check in with you guys again, all right? Here comes chorus 1, the full section for intermediate. And I can't hear my app, but I'm going to use my trusty scroll bar to make sure I'm playing somewhat in time. Here we go. B flat over F. Left hand's very contained. Which allows us to focus our energy on the right hand melody a bit more. Whoops. Pretty much. So actually what I want to do is talk about what we see right here in measure 32. That's this right here. Okay? Let's talk about what we see from measure 31, 32, and 33. In measure 31, we see an F major chord in root position. Okay? Measure 32, we see something else. I'll get to it in just a sec. Measure 33, we get back to another F major chord. So the chord in between, in measure 32, actually changes. It goes to a sus type sound. We move up to this B flat. But typically, what we've done so far in this arrangement at this level is 3-note chords. But here, we're just doing a 2-note chord. Now, I want to talk about why. I want to talk about that from an arranging perspective. Take a look at what's happening in the right hand in this 3-measure phrase. Okay? So measure 31, we have. And then in the right hand here, we jump down kind of quickly, pinky down to C. We're shifting our whole position, right? Then we're back to F. So the reason that I think we've decided to simplify the left-hand chord in measure 32 is because the right hand already has a significantly more challenging part here than it usually does. We've got a big hand position change and not very much time at all to do it. So why not make the left hand even simpler than in other measures here, okay? That's one reason that we've done this. So as a general rule, if you're arranging something and you say, you know what, root position triads or even inverted triads are going to be, that's going to be what I put in my left-hand part in general. You still might then find one measure or two measures where something else is happening that makes it extra tricky, and then you can sort of simplify that measure without having to, start over on your approach to the whole left-hand part in general. Does that make sense? All right, let's go ahead and look in the chat. I want to see what everyone's talking about in here. All right. So let's scoot back up here. I want to see what people are talking about on You Raise Me Up. So Saul is saying, that song is killing me. Oh man, Saul, what level are you working on? It's a long one, and no matter what level you're on, it's a challenge. We've got a lot under our belts now, guys. I mean, I can't believe we did a new piano lesson every day. For those of you who have been clocking in practice every day, it's pretty impressive, pretty inspiring too, so great work. It was a lot to bite off. Warren W. saying, a lot of good explanation in the rookie lessons. Oh, thanks, Warren. So yeah, I mean, of course, when we're speaking to a rookie audience, we definitely want to make sure that we sneak in the lessons where we can, At the intermediate and especially at the advanced level, I can kind of just show you the part, and in some ways you might be able to take it from there. But at the rookie level, I definitely put a lot of time and effort into making sure that I was explaining stuff as we went and sneaking in some theory stuff as well. So thanks, Warren. I'm glad you are enjoying it. Sarah's saying, slightly sad. I don't like to hear that. My old reading chair finally fell apart, so there's only so much duct tape can do. You know what? Check out gaff tape. I love gaffer's tape. That's been my new jam, my fix-all. Lily May hasn't started. All right, you got some catch-up to do, Lily, but I know you can do it. I hope we can see your video as part of our global recital. Anna-Marie, hey Anna-Marie. Anna-Marie, excuse me. Anna-Marie says, I don't do challenges, too heavy of a commitment in my schedule, and I'm camera shy to post videos of me playing. Anna-Marie, that's a perfectly valid position. Of course we want everyone to participate because we think it's fun and rewarding, but yeah, it's definitely different from the normal experience in the app, right? Because we're coming at you every day with something new, and because, well, frankly, like you say, we're asking you to record yourself. So there are some new elements to that, and I totally understand. Consider in the future, Anna-Marie, that you can just post a video of your hands, and if that helps, you don't have to put your face on there, of course. And you even could just, I'm just making this up. You could film the back of your piano, so you don't even have to see your hands, right? So it's not about showing your hands necessarily. It's about participating in the community of people who are learning this stuff together. So I hope you'll reconsider in the future one. You can also take these at your own pace, you guys. If you're, for example, at the intermediate level and you got verse 1 down, but you haven't been able to finish it out on the chorus, that's okay too. You can just post a video of yourself playing the verse. You could even just post one hand playing a section if you'd like. We don't want to discourage anyone from sharing, but Anna-Marie, that's totally cool and understandable. I'm glad you're here with us at the live lesson either way. Hey, Richard Waterbury, nice to see you. Penny Burns, what key is this played in? Good question. So You Raise Me Up is actually a pretty interesting challenge for us to do a global arrangement, in part because the song has multiple key changes. And what I mean by that is we start the song in one key, and then we transpose, we move up to a different key, and then we do it again. All right, so depending on which section we're talking about here, we have different keys. But what we're looking at here so far, and what I've demoed so far today, which is the rookie level chorus 1 as well as the intermediate level chorus 1, those were in the key of F. That's correct. I think I see some people in the chat saying it was F major. A couple ways you can know. The main way, of course, to know, the surefire way would be to check the key signature. And briefly, I'll go back to the app so I can remind you guys that we're looking at a key signature of 1 flat. And that flat is on the B line. And it's on the B line of the bass staff as well. That tells us all Bs are flat. And the key in which all Bs are flat, and only Bs are flat, is F major. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. Now, even though we're in the key of F here, I don't want us to forget about the relative minor, which is D minor. Now, some of you may say, hey, I thought we were in the key of D minor here, because sure enough, the first chord of the chorus, that big, powerful right, that first chord is D minor. Very defining to this part. But however, that does not mean that we are now changing keys to D minor or anything like that. The fact that F major and D minor are related keys means you can kind of shift in and out of an F major chord and a D minor chord. They're interchangeable. Well, they're not interchangeable, but they are both equally valid, whether we're in the key of F major or the key of D minor, right? And that's because they share a key signature. Now, if we were firmly in the key of D minor, you would see a major 5 chord or a dominant 5 chord, which would be A major. And A major has a C sharp in it, which is not in the key signature for F major. So that's one difference. And if we saw a lot of A chords, stuff like that, then we would say, you know what? That key signature still says 1 flat, but I bet we're in the key of D minor. However, we don't see A major chords. We do see a lot of C chords though, right? C over E, or sometimes just C. When we see that, that reinforces the fact that we're in the key of F major, because C is the 5 chord in the key of F, all right? So anyways, short answer long, that's the scoop. We're in the key of F major there. Hey, my buddy Andrew's in the mix. What's up, man? I'll get to you in a sec. So Saul is saying, I worked on it for 10 hours. Now, after going back to play on my own, my fingers got crossed up or just had a brain fart. Saul, you're running into one of the challenges of learning a longer song or a multi-section song. Kudos to you for putting in 10 hours so far. That is awesome. That must feel good, and I'm sure you see some progress from that. However, part of this is also seeing if you can retain what you've learned before while you're learning new stuff, okay? That's part of the challenge of building repertoire and getting, to be a more advanced player. So I'm glad you're hitting that hurdle. It means you're progressing along your path, but I want you to stay with it, and I want you to be patient with yourself. I'm sure many of you have noticed that often we start certain days of these challenges with a review of stuff we've done in past days. That is to reinforce that notion that you've got to dust off stuff. Just because you learned it yesterday or a few days ago doesn't mean you can count on it still being under your fingers in the same confident way, right? So build into your practice a bit of warm-up and review, and you'll see that help your progress a lot. All right, good question, or a good comment, I should say. Sarah Pickles says, Anna Marie, you could always just do an over-the-top. That's right. Exactly, Sarah. Yeah, we're on the same page. That's right. That's a good idea. All right. Reload. Oh, good. Warren, you say you reloaded and it solved it? Okay, that's good to hear. Hey, Elta John. She says, Phil, I've really enjoyed the challenge. I tried to really challenge myself out of my comfort zone, and I did the advanced level. I've never played octave chords. Wow. Elta, that's super exciting. I'm so happy to hear that you were kind of on the fence about the difficulty level, and then you decided to go up to the more challenging one. I love that. That's a great attitude, and I'm so happy that you saw that you could do it. In fact, I would challenge everyone here who's doing the You Raise Me Up global recital, that even when we're done here, when the recital's over, I would encourage you to go in and try the level up from where you were. And that's because I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised with what you're able to do. So Elta, I'm so glad to hear that. And octave chords for sure, octave melody in the right hand. There's some awesome stuff going on in the advanced level. And in fact, we're going to get to that in just a second. I'm going to want to walk you guys through what we see there. So I'm going to just get to the bottom of the chat here. I'm going to catch up with you guys. And then we're going to look at the advanced one. Elta says, when I focused on low note of octave chords, it was easier for me. Okay, cool. Yeah, getting used to that 4-note hand position for chords is part of the challenge at the advanced level, definitely. Anna Marie says, maybe still shy, I'll consider it. Hey, I'll take it. No problem either way, but if we can budge you towards trying it, you know, I think that'll be a fun thing. And we've got such a supportive community in the Facebook community and here on YouTube that I know everyone will be happy to see your performance. All right. So, hey Gail, great to see you. Better late than never. Okay. Hey, Charlotte Ward's in the house. Everyone say hey to Char. She's been working on the You Raise Me Up challenge too. Hey Charlotte, what day are you on right now in the practice? Are you caught up or are you still working on a previous day? That's okay, by the way, if you guys need time to catch up. You know, there's going to be some days here between when you wrap up your tour, your level, and when the recital is due that you can get some extra practice. So anyways, Char, let us know where you're at. And in the meantime, let's go back over to the app because I would like us now to go to the advanced level. Where is it? You Raise Me Up. Oh, wrong one. Somewhere over the rainbow. You guys just got a sneak peek. We might be doing that one in the future. But I'm looking for You Raise Me Up Advanced, and I got too many courses in here. Oh, I was hiding. There we go. All right, guys, so the advanced players had a little bit of a different thing. They're not going to be playing on chorus 1. However, the advanced arrangement does have them playing on chorus 2. So what I'd like to do is take a peek at chorus 2. This is the recital performance segment of chorus 2. And I'm going to get my app looking a little better again. Okay. All right, guys, this is the advanced level. And actually, I think I need to bring this down a bit so we can see everything. Okay. Here's the advanced level arrangement for chorus 1. Let's go ahead and just scroll through. What are we noticing? Busy left hand. We don't see very many chords until the end. I see some chords here in the final system there. But otherwise, from the top down, I see broken chord stuff in the left hand. Yep. Okay, so we'll get into that in a second. In the right hand, though, I want to call your attention to these octave melodies. So check this out. We're actually in a new key now, by the way. All right. Notice the key signature has 1 sharp instead of 1 flat. So we've moved from the key of F up a whole step to the key of G. So instead of doing this in D minor, now we're here. Okay, that's the new key we're in. So look at what we're doing in the right hand. We're playing octaves for this section, and that becomes very powerful. Listen to this. Here's a single note melody. Also notice that rhythm in the beginning is a little more syncopated. That's single note. Now check out what happens when we add add octaves to the melody. Much better, right? It just adds a punch. It cuts through a bit in the higher range, and it just adds volume because you're doubling up that note. So let's now, I'm going to do it at the slow speed, you guys. I'm going to walk, you know what? No, I'm not. We're going to do this at full speed. And I want you to follow along, and then I'll break down what else we see here in the advanced arrangement. By the way, I can't hear the app or the count off, but I'm going to watch that scroll bar. Bear with me here, guys. Yeah, there it is. So first of all, shout out to David Sides and Byron and and the musician arranging team that put all this together. I think they did a great job. That's it. So the left hand was super busy. In fact, I just want to play through the left hand one time for you guys, out of time. So here's what we're doing. There's the first 4 measures for the left hand. So what we have here, the harmony is E minor, C, G over B, and then D. Now, if we were doing this in this key for the intermediate level arrangement, it probably would sound quite a lot like that. E minor, we would do an inversion, C over E, G over D, and then D. And that's pretty much what we did, but in the key of F for the rookie and intermediate chorus 1. All right, but now look what we're doing. We're doing broken chord pattern stretching across an octave. So E minor, instead of playing a root position triad, we're going to do E, B, E, B. Move that down to C, same idea. Excuse me. Now G over B is a little different, so we're going to have B octaves with G in the middle, and we're going to walk up and down through that. And then D. So your left hand's always moving and snaking around through this progression, especially moving into the next phrase where we have 2 chords in one measure. We have E minor, and then G over D, then C, and then a D sus, and then a chord. So the left-hand part on its own is very musical. But add on top of that octave melodies with some syncopation, and you get into some tricky territory. I'm going to do it slowly here. Ready? Just the first 8 bars that we see here, 8 or 9 bars. Some syncopation in the right hand here. Now, with such a busy left hand, and I don't mean to say it's too busy, I think it's perfect, but with as much stuff that's happening as it is, we got a lot of stuff happening in the left hand, we still sorry about that, guys. I think I cut out, but all right, I think I'm back on. Let me know if I cut out or if you're not hearing me. But what I was saying was, there's a lot going on in the left hand, so that's another reason why right hand octaves for the melody make sense. Let me play this through for you once without the higher octave in the melody. I have a feeling we're going to hear that the right hand is getting buried underneath the left hand. Let's try. All right, well, it didn't get lost by any means, but I don't know about you, but my attention was, as a listener, was focused on that left-hand part because there's just more motion in it. It almost is a contrasting melody underneath the right-hand melody. Now, listen when we put the octave back on. It's going to really cut and soar over the left-hand part, okay? Okay. Man, I really love playing through this part. For those of you who are really working on this advanced arrangement, I would also encourage you to try playing it outside the app as well with a little bit more expression. And I would also like to remind you to keep that left hand quieter than the right hand melody. It may go without saying, but unless you're really actively, consciously thinking about it, you may not be doing it right? So at the advanced level, we definitely don't want the left hand to be overpowering the right hand melody. Keep that in mind. Okay, guys, let's go back to the chat. How are we doing? Anyone have any questions about anything we're talking about today? Let's see. Saul. Am I reading that right or wrong? Is it Saul or Sai? Saul, okay. Saul said, I think because I'm playing my sax, It's crossing me up. Are we talking about, Saul, are we talking about key signatures here? Oh, let's see. Maybe I'm missing something. Let's go back up a little bit. Oh, yeah, I didn't see any of these comments. Sorry, guys. Oh, Saul's saying intermediate. Oh, okay, I missed this earlier. Saul says, I play the alto sax, so I'm more comfortable at that stage. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, you know what? I often say this, Saul. I often say that if you have experience at one instrument, and then you move on and you learn a second instrument, that you will have a better and easier time learning that second instrument. And that's because a lot of the stuff carries over, okay? Music theory is music theory. And most often that transcends one instrument. Now, of course, each instrument has its own instrument-specific stuff, right? For example, alto sax reads music in a different key than you would if you're playing the piano. So that might throw you off already, right, Saul? You're probably used to reading, let's see, alto sax. Is that a B-flat instrument or an E-flat? I'm forgetting. It's been a long time. Andrew is gonna shake his head at that I forgot. But anyways, it's very cool to hear that you're experiencing that too, Saul. That your time with the saxophone is making it maybe a bit easier for you at the piano. And in fact, I would also say to any of you people who are piano players and only piano players, that if you ever wanted to branch out and learn another instrument, that I believe that piano is the best first instrument. Because when you move on to a second or third instrument, I just believe that the piano sets you up best as your foundation. And one reason I believe that is because even at the college level, when you're studying music theory, doesn't matter what instrument you're playing, your theory textbook is often going to use an image of a keyboard, right, to explain steps and pitches and intervals and harmony. And so if you are familiar with the grand staff and you're familiar with a keyboard, the 88 keys as we know them, then you're going to be, it's going to be much easier for you to then go learn trumpet or drums or alto sax like Saul, or excuse me, or trombone like Andrew, right, or guitar or anything. Very cool, Saul. All right, E flat. Thanks, Saul. Oh, Sal like pal. I got you. All right. So do you want us intermediate to do as far as expression? Yeah, Sal, I mean, see, here's the thing with expression when it comes to the app. Because the app has our scroll bar and the backing tracks, that's basically playing along to a click, right? So when it comes to playing with a push and a pull of tempo, in other words, playing with rubato, playing with a rubato feel, for example, that would be something like this. So I'm just kind of trying to show you an example here of how you can kind of speed up and slow down, right? That was some stuff that we covered in last month or two's lesson on expression. To answer your question, Sal, I think, I would always encourage everyone to experiment with the music you're learning at any time. And to me, at the intermediate level, what that means is, yeah, sometimes not hitting play in the app and playing through it with a little bit more of a push and pull feel to breathe some life into it. I would definitely do that. I would do that at your piano as well, aside from the keyboard if you've got that option. But even if you don't, something about not hitting play in the app, not worrying about the even timing can be really helpful when you're working on expression. And by no means is that an advanced concept, right? We've talked about this. I think even rookies can try a push and a pull every once in a while. But we don't want to take on too many challenges at once. And rookies often are still, really working to get the notes and the rhythms too. So expression tends to be something we talk about later in our journey. But yeah, no doubt, if you have some ideas and you want to experiment with some stuff, please do. The one note I'll say about that, though, with regards to our global piano recital video that we're going to be putting together, unfortunately for that to work, we've all got to play along with the track, right, with the backing track. So I do want us to experiment with expression, but as far as your submission goes, right, for your performance video, if we want it to sync up, which we do, I'll ask that you guys submit your video playing along with the backing track. But after you do that and you want to just share a video on Facebook with us of you playing it without the track, playing it with some extra expression, that would be awesome too. Always up for that. Okay, Warren's saying, I don't always remember the first 3 days from memory, but with the sheets it becomes almost automated. Okay, great. That's good. Sol, E flat, got it. Brushed up there, thank you. Elta, so Elta says, just so I'm clear, can you tell me the difference between a major or minor key based on the chords that are played the most in the song? For example, the difference between C major and A minor. Yeah, no problem, Elta. Let's talk about that. As we know, a major key and a minor key share a key signature. There's a relative major and a relative minor. Each major key has a minor relative. They're paired up, okay? And your example here, you say C major and A minor. What we talked about earlier in the context of You Raise Me Up was F major to D minor. Either way, there is one major and one minor key that are paired up. And so C major and A minor key signature is the same. No flats, no sharp. Or, okay? So far, this is mostly what we talk about when we talk about relative major and relative minor, right? They share a key signature, they have the same notes in the scale. But there is a next sort of step to that. There's a next layer to that. If they have the same key signature, how do we know if it is in the key of the major key or if it's in the key of the relative minor? How do we know if it's the key of F versus D minor or the key of C major versus A minor? If they have the same scale, same key signature. So that's the question that we're trying to solve here. And Elta, what I was talking about before in today's lesson may have confused things. So let me go back and clarify a little bit. What we need to do is remember that the 5 chord in any key is very important. Okay, we've talked about that before. We've talked about how the single most important, arguably the most defining chord of a key is the 5 chord, if not the 1 chord. One of the most important scale degrees is the 5, right? The 5 is very important. And so that's what I want us to focus on when we're trying to determine if we're in the key of the major or the relative minor when we look at a key signature. And so what would the 5 chord be if we were in the key of C major, for example? Here's C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be the G chord, G major specifically, right? And if we added the 4th note to it, it would be a G dominant chord, a dominant 7. But just the triad, it would be G major, okay? Now, what would the 5 chord be in the key of A minor? Okay, well here's A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be E. It would be an E chord, right? But what kind of E chord? This is what's important right now. What kind of E chord? Well, in the key of C, or I should say in the key signature, right? No sharps, no flats. Then we have an E minor chord. But we all know that the 5 chord of any key, when used appropriately, is a major triad. 5 is major, right? And so if we are trying to tonicize the minor key, in other words, if we're in C major or A minor and we're trying to say we're in the key of A minor, then what we need to see are some 5 chords in the key of A minor, which would be E major. So if you see a G sharp somewhere in your notation, and you won't see it in the key signature, but you will see it, if you're going to see it, you'll see that sharp symbol in a measure on a specific note. If you see a G sharp, typically that's going to be part of an E major harmony. And if you're in the key signature with 0 sharps and 0 flats, typically, yeah, you'd think we're in C major. But if you're seeing E major chords in the music, you're seeing G sharps written in, typically you're going to also see that followed up by A minor. So it's that major 5 chord that would make something, that would make us in the key of the relative minor. Does that make sense? I hope that helps, Elta. Let me know if you need some more clarification on that. But I'm going to get back in here now. And hey, Grace. Grace is saying she wants to learn the violin. Love it. I encourage it. Lily May, I would dislocate my fingers if I tried to. Yeah, I don't know, Lily. You've come a long way. I think your fingers could handle another instrument, I bet you could do it. But of course, there's a big learning curve when you start a new instrument. I didn't mean to suggest earlier that now we can all just pick up a second instrument like it's nothing. But you would have a head start, so I say go for it. Lily's asking, do we need to submit our videos with the backing track playing too, or just with the count-in and playing it on the app so that it can be synced? That's a great question, Lily May. I think it would be easier on the editing end and on Playground's end to produce this video if you guys did use the track in the video, okay? You can have it very quiet if you'd like. In fact, I would encourage you to have it quiet so that we can really hear your piano part, right? But the key is that you play along to it and that you hear the counts, but also the backing track, because we want you to stay in perfect time as you're playing so that we all stay in perfect time together when we're in the recital video. So if you can, Lily May, try and include the track in it, but you can keep it very quiet if you like. All right, guys, well, I am going to jump back into our advanced arrangement here and just play down chorus 2 one more time. And then I think I'm going to get out of here, you guys, because guess what? I'm going on vacation tomorrow, and I'm very excited about it. I apologize that I'm not going to be with you guys next Wednesday, so everyone please make a note. I'm taking the week off. I'm going to be with my family, enjoying some time off, and I just want to say thank you all for watching and supporting what I've been doing here with the channel. And so I'm going to play through this one more time, and then I'm going to get out of here and get ready for my vacation. I can't wait to see you guys 2 weeks from today. But maybe next week I can convince David Sides to check in with you guys and do something on the live, maybe even a Q&A. We'll see. If you guys would like to see that or hear that, let me know that as well. But here's the advanced thing one more time, guys, and then I'm going to get out of here. Thanks so much. Here we go. If this was grading me, it would not be 100, maybe a 99. There it is. Something to aspire to. I really cannot wait, you guys, to see this final recital. I cannot wait. And I can't wait to see familiar faces and hands in there as well. Thank you all, and I will see you guys on the other end in about 2 weeks or so. Everyone stay safe and healthy.